Greetings everyone, I am Sapilante Rosel and I am here to discuss about expanding an outline using notes from primary and secondary sources. Understanding primary and secondary sources. 1. Establishing credibility and reliability. Number 2. Contextualizing information. Number 3. Encouraging critical thinking. Number 4. Contributing to knowledge creation. Number 5. Avoiding plagiarism and ethical considerations. What is primary sources? A primary source is an original, first-hand or eyewitness account offering an inside view. A primary source could be defined as something that was created either during the time period being studied or afterward by individuals reflecting on in their involvement in the event of that time. These sources are the building blocks of research, allowing us to explore the context, motivations, and emotions surrounding a particular topic. By examining primary sources, we gain access to the voices and the perspectives of those who experience or witness the events under study, enabling us to develop a deeper understanding of the subject matter. Examples of primary sources: diaries and journals, letters and correspondence, newspapers and magazines, official documents, oral history interviews, and many more. Importance of primary sources. Authenticity. They provide the most accurate and unaltered information available. Original context. Primary sources offer a glimpse into the historical or cultural context of the time. Original interpretations. Researchers can form their own interpretations and draw unique conclusions. Engage with the past. Primary sources allow individuals to connect directly with historical events. Expanding the content of an outline using notes from primary sources is a valuable way to develop a comprehensive and well-supported piece of writing. By referring to primary sources, which are first-hand accounts or original documents related to a particular topic, you can provide accurate and reliable information to strengthen your arguments and enhance the credibility of your work. Here's a step-by-step process to expand the content of your outline using notes from primary sources. 1. Review your outline. 2. Identify the relevant primary sources. 3. Read and analyze primary sources. 4. Organize your notes. 5. Add supporting evidence. 6. Provide analysis and interpretation. 7. Revise and refine. 8. Edit inside your sources. Remember, while expanding your outline using primary sources, it's important to maintain a balance between incorporating the information from the sources and expressing your own ideas and analysis. Your goal is to use the primary sources to support and enhance your arguments, not to rely solely on them without providing your own insights. So now, let's move on to primary sources. Primary sources are works that interpret, analyze, or comment on primary sources. Unlike primary sources, which provide first-hand or direct evidence, secondary sources are created by individuals who did not experience the event or phenomena themselves. Instead, they rely on primary sources on other secondary sources to construct their arguments, theories, or narratives. Examples of secondary sources: scholarly books, journal articles, textbooks, biographies, review articles, documentaries and films, literature reviews, and many more. Importance of secondary sources. Analysis and interpretation. They offer critical evaluations of primary sources. Contextualization. Secondary sources place primary sources within broader historical, social, or cultural context. Consolidation of information. They gather and synthesize information from multiple primary sources. Accessibility. Secondary sources often present complex information in a more approachable manner. Expanding the content of an outline using notes from secondary sources is another effective approach to developing a well-rounded and well-supported piece of writing. Secondary sources are works that analyze, interpret, or comment on primary sources, such as books, scholarly articles, review papers, and documentaries. These sources provide valuable insights, perspectives, and context that can enrich your writing and strengthen your arguments. To expand the content of your outline using notes from secondary sources, follow these steps. 1. Review your outline. 2. Identify relevant secondary sources. 3. Read and analyze secondary sources. 4. Organize your notes. 5. Incorporate supporting evidence. 6. Provide analysis and interpretation. 7. Compare and contrast sources. 8. Revise and refine. 9. Edit and cite your sources. While expanding your outline using secondary sources, remember to maintain a balance between incorporating your information and expressing your own analysis and insights. Secondary sources should supplement your ideas and arguments, but it's crucial to provide your own critical analysis and interpretation to showcase your understanding of the topic. Difference between primary and secondary sources. Primary sources are original materials created by first-hand witnesses or participants, while secondary sources are works that analyze and interpret primary sources. Primary sources offer direct evidence, while secondary sources provide interpretation and analysis. Both types of sources are valuable for research, but primary sources are typically considered more immediate and reliable for understanding historical events. Secondary sources help provide context, analysis, and synthesis of primary source of materials. Why should why should why should use notes from primary and secondary sources in expanding the outline to a paragraph? When you support your claims with appropriate sources, this adds credibility to your writing because it means that you are not backing up your sentences with heartsays and ideas from unreliable sources. Conclusion. Primary and secondary sources are invaluable tools for researchers seeking to understand the past or explore various topics. Primary sources offer direct access to first-hand experiences and materials, allowing researchers to delve into the context and significance of historical events. Secondary sources provide critical analysis and interpretation of primary sources, building upon existing knowledge and offering diverse perspectives. By utilizing both primary and secondary sources, researchers can construct a well-rounded and informed understanding of the subject matter they are studying. And that's all. Thank you.